What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about the Houston Astros 10-4 win over the Blue Jays. This game would have been one of the biggest games of the season had Springer played, but as of right now, he's out with a quad injury. Now, as for how the actual game stats went, we outscored them 10-4, obviously, which means we were on the offensive and the defensive, and we out-hit them 6-15. Nobody on their team actually had more than one hit. Now, our pitching, it was decent, not great. Jose, the starting pitcher, gave up 4 hits, and 2 of which were home runs. But as for the entire run column goes, those were the only runs they actually scored on Jose Urquidy. And the Blue Jays pitching was not good by any means. We had their starting pitcher. We had him ready to get out of the game in the bottom of the 3rd inning, because we were hitting foul balls on 0-2 counts, and we had great vision, so he was having to pitch a lot more. I think he had 80 by the 3rd inning already, and after that they tried 4 different pitchers, which none of them actually helped. We were just picking them apart on each at bat, and they couldn't do anything about it. As I said, we were just going into deep counts and picking apart each of their pitchers. Now, as for the defensive side goes, not non-pitching wise, we played pretty well considering their only runs were actually off of home runs. And someone that actually surprised me defensively was Miles Straw, who was catching a lot of fly balls and was using his speed the right way, which I know he's not great, and I think the Astros are actually in a market to get a new center fielder. But today he showed that he can actually play decent defense. Now, on the offensive side, he's not, I wouldn't say he's necessarily good, but I wouldn't say he's terrible. He's just not the type of guy that you want at the bottom of the batting order, because, every time, usually, it's 2 outs, because it goes Miles Straw, then Martin Maldonado. So that's 2 outs right there, and Jose Altuve comes right after that. So that's kind of leaving him on base if he gets a hit, which I think we should look into that and try to improve on that. Now, as for the actual standout players, the best players this game were Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, and Yuli Gurriel. Yordan had 5 at-bats, had 2 hits, and recorded 2 runs. And there was a very questionable call in the 2nd inning. It was 2 outs, bases loaded, and he had 2 strikes already, which one of them was also from a questionable call. But this last one was egregious. It was around 2 inches away from the strike zone to the right, and they called it a strike, which even Yordan, who's a pretty quiet person, got mad at. And that definitely could have upped the amount of runs and hits he had. So I don't think, nobody can actually tell what would have happened, but I doubt an out would have been, or a strikeout at the very least, would have been the same outcome. Now, next up, definitely the best player of this game, Yuli Gurriel. He had 4 at-bats, 4 hits, 4 RBIs, and 2 runs. He was swinging at what needed to be swung at, and he didn't swing at anything that didn't need to be swung at, which resulted in him getting a lot of hits and a lot of RBIs. So I think we still win this game had he not played this good, but it definitely would have been a lot closer. But he came through and did what needed to be done to get a blowout victory. And he played decent defensively as well. Now, next up, Alex Bregman. He had 4 at-bats, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and a walk. Same as for Yuli. He just did what needed to be done. He swung at the right things, and he didn't make any stupid decisions, which would have caused an out, which ultimately helped us a lot more than anything else could have. Not just Bregman, but everybody doing that. Everybody swinging at what needs to be swung at and making the right plays. And that's what led us to a blowout win. And now the last person I want to go over is Jose Altuve. He came back from the COVID reserve list, and he started off slow, but he's been slowly coming back. You know, last game he had the home run on his birthday, and today he had 5 at-bats, 4 official because he walked one of them, and he had 2 hits and a run. It's just glad to see that he's coming back and starting to play like, you know, how he usually does, because we all know he's capable of playing at that all-star MVP level that he's shown in the past. Alright guys, that's been the main takeaways of this game, and that's the end of this video. So I hope you like, enjoy, subscribe, and make sure to turn on post notifications.